What are some of the other bad things directors have done to you over the years? You don't mention any names of directors, but how can a director make you say to your agent, don't let that man ever direct me, don't book me with that guy ever again? You had any stories like that, anyone?
When I first got the job of playing Toucan Sam, the director that we had, I believe he had OCD before that was actually something that was, in the common parlance. But I had to do 99 takes on Ollie knows, it always knows, Kellogg's Fruit Loop cereal. I mean, it's the signature line of the character. And it was 99 takes on that. And then at the end of it, he actually, I don't know if he was trying to needle me or not, he said, you know what, I think you got it right on take one.
Yeah.
And I had just gotten the job, and I knew how lucky I was to get the job, so I didn't say anything, because yes, they're paying you for a 4-hour session, and they can do whatever they want, but that one got me. Like repetition will get me. It will get to me after a while, just in terms of my own mental kishkas. I like to always be moving on to the next thing and doing something new after I've mastered, the first thing. I believe in doing it 9 times, three sets of 3, but after that it just becomes, somewhat self-serving.
Yeah, I think all of us have had the great good fortune to find some way to make a living doing this remarkably wonderful gig. And we could have a script written by Jesus and $30 million of Mark Evanier's money. And if you guys don't watch it, we got nothing. The fact of the matter is that none of this makes any sense at all unless we have an audience. And all of you we could not express our collective gratitude for what you've given us. Thank you. But and Mark doesn't, the great directors with whom I've worked, you, Gordon Hunt, Jimmy McSwain, other people who've been wonderful. Andrea Romano. Right. And they Steve Bloom, same thing. Great people.
Sue Blue.
Oh, Sue Blue. Oh, yes, Sue Blue. Yes, I wanted to touch that. But they almost always say, they don't say, don't do this. They'll say, would you try another one and maybe try this, or that was great. Try something, because, and I did have the privilege of directing one of the Turtle iterations of Nickelodeon. Rise of the TMNT, and I got to do.
He's a wonderful director, by the way.
Thank you.
I got to work on that show.
I'll take care of
really
it.
have that thing.
So I learned a lot from all of those wonderful people. And the 4 Turtles and Cat Graham, who was April, were all on-camera talent. And they weren't necessarily used to, I say, okay, like Fred, you really got to scream and go, because they're used to having the camera. I said, no, scream. And then one of them, Ben Schwartz, would say, could you just tell me what you like? I said, sure. So just let it go. And they weren't used to going that big, because I have a camera right here. And I understand that. I've done that too. But I know what it's like when you're hearing, no. Try to get, geez. And then you try to take, and the people behind the glass are pointing to you and going, Now they might be saying, I don't know if he wants lunch, but the rest of us, That's true. But actors by nature are very self-conscious, and we have to be sensitive because we want to avail ourselves of our gig, So not making sure I tell people what to try. Not, no, don't do that. By the time they've gotten the gig, you don't have to tell them what they're not good at, And we've all worked with a particular director who is no longer with us, but I remember we did a show called, Prince Valiant, I think. Mark Hamill was in that, as I recall. Robbie Benson played, and this director I was playing a bad guy, and they wanted me to fall down these steps. And no, it's not. It's really not cutting it wrong. Can you make it a little more? Can you make it a little more? I think I know. But I said, okay.
If you knew this director, he's doing him perfectly.
In those days, he was smoking in the control room. Pat Fraley does a great impression of this gentleman smoking a cigarette drinking a cup of coffee and eating a cruller at the same time. But he would say,
All in one hand.
while my hand.
It's this, it's this, it's this.
Yeah. He, no. Okay, so you're really falling down. It's really hurt. You're just not getting it. Okay, hey, I'm gonna come in there and help you.
Push you downstairs.
This. And it's the only time I've ever gotten sideways in the Detroit, Michigan hockey player came out at me. He came out, okay, go roll the tape, go ahead. And he took like
Oh no.
yeah, it was like a broom and just, I'm gonna, okay, now really make it bigger. And we got done. And I said, can I talk to you outside for just a second? Yeah, I'm so glad we finally got it. Yeah, me too. If you ever do that to me or anyone else I see you doing it, you're going to take that implement, whatever it was, and you are going to wear it inside your body for the rest of your life. Nobody has a right to start shaking you. And that only happened once, but it does happen. There are people out there who will give you line readings. I have no problem if an actor says, I'm not getting it, would you tell me how the writers would like it? No problem. But until then, my job and their job is to draw performances out of us and we want to leave them with an embarrassment of riches. They don't know which take to use. But it doesn't happen if somebody makes you self-conscious. So, yeah, and thank you, Mark, for not being that kind of guy.
I know when you